Right then guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk about the non-negotiables of male life. Before we start actually guys, I just made a video on I don't think carbs are male friendly for the school community. It's perfect video for this paid school community. We've probably got less than 400 places left now. It's probably about 380, something like that. If you want to get in now, the price is the lowest it'll ever be, and then it's going to go up. So I'll see you guys there. We've got a live call 7 a.m. Tuesday. And one at 8 p.m. on Thursday. So anybody can make them. And I've got some guest speakers coming in very soon, 3 or 4 people that want to do talks and stuff. That's going to be fun. So the non-negotiables of male life. What I mean by this is things that you have to do. Things that you have to do, okay? Like you can't live any other way. Otherwise your life just won't be as effective as it should be. So number one, as I just mentioned it there, was the carbs. Consuming way too many carbs, stuffing your face with simple carbs, even the complex carbs, the way that they are today. For example, go and search ancient potato versus modern potato. You see an ancient potato like a mini egg next to the jacket potato. There's different worlds apart. So you are consuming probably 4, 5 times more carbs than you should be, and that's why you've got inflammation, puffiness, shit like that. I've just bulked for a month and not eaten whatever I wanted, but added carbs back in. Just oats, pastas, rices. My face probably like doubled in size in terms of puffiness and whatnot. Now I got the desired results in the gym, muscle-wise, strength-wise. I was doing 54 kg dumbbell presses today, 6 reps. I've never done that before. I feel unbelievable. I think I'm headed for the 60 kg dumbbells, which feels good. So now it's time to lose that puffiness in the face. But it's a non-negotiable, honestly. If you're just stuffing your face with carbs all the time, you're going to look significantly worse. Okay, guys? So next up is 4 liters of water per day, non-negotiable. Okay, they say the average man needs about 3.7 liters. If you're not having at least 4 liters of water per day, or at least 3, but if you're not having your 4 liters of water per day, you're just slowly killing yourself. You're not giving your body what it needs. Your body is 70% water. It needs it. It needs it for the basic functions. If you're not doing it, you're just starving your body of what it needs. You're literally destroying your body, destroying your skin. Whatever your body requires to do anything, water is probably involved, and you're excluding that from your life. It's a non-negotiable. It needs to happen. Next up is gym 5 days per week. If you're not going to the gym at least 5 days per week, I just don't know what you're doing. As a man, you need size, you need strength, you need to be pushing yourself, testing yourself, keeping yourself sharp. That for me is a non-negotiable. And I think for a lot of modern women as well, that's one thing that they're asking for too. Next up is walk every day. If you don't walk every single day, then the human body was built, if you look at the pelvis muscles, it was built in a certain way that we have to walk around about, they average something like, I think they said something like 8 kilometers per day. Like the way that it's been molded, the way that it's structured, the way that the human body is shaped, something like 8 kilometers or 8 miles per day or something. I read it in a book a long time ago. So if you're not walking, you're doing your body a disservice, because that's what we're built to do. And I think by getting out and going for a walk every single day, even if it's like a 9-to-5 job at lunch, go for a walk for an hour. That's what I used to do. Clears your head, makes you feel way better, it changes the game. And especially if you've just eaten, then you go for a walk, I think it really helps the way you look, it helps your body in general. Next up is bed before 10 p.m, 6 days per week. So on a Saturday, if you wanted to stay up till like 11, midnight, it's not the worst thing in the world. If you're just out with friends, having a bit of food, late night coffee, or, a bit of sex on a Saturday night, come on. You're not going to be like, oh, hang on a minute, let me just pull out and go to bed. It's 9:59. Sorry, babe. You got to have a little bit of human element to you. Do you know what I mean? But bed before 10 p.m. at least 6 days per week. Apparently, there's studies. If you go to bed, I think it's 2 hours for every hour after 10 p.m. You're causing brain damage. You're causing serious issues to your body. I think it increases cancer risks. It increases stroke risks and stuff like that. It's your circadian rhythm. The body just needs to be in that pattern. Next up is nights out, drugs, alcohol. There is no benefit. There is no celebration in that lifestyle, and there is no benefit in that lifestyle. If you're doing any of those three, I have no idea what you're doing. That is a non-negotiable. You cannot be doing those things. Now, if you're young, you want to enjoy yourself for a few years, I don't recommend it, but I did it. But I'm telling you from experience, don't do it. It's not good for you. Next up is nobody outside of staff does anything for you. Unless you're actually paying somebody to do something for you, you should be doing it all yourself. Okay, the reason being, you have to trade something. So if you're paying somebody to clean your house, you're exchanging money, so you have to work hard to get that money to pay for that. That's different. That's an adult responsibility. But if your like mum cleans your house once a week, or if you take your laundry over to your mum's and you're like, Mum, can you do this? And you're like a 30-year-old man, that's trouble. Okay, non-negotiable. You should be doing a lot of the things yourself. I clean my whole house today. Every Sunday, I spend 1 or 2 hours cleaning my whole house. I do it myself. Oh, Chris, but that's time lost. Yeah, and in the future, I will hire somebody. But for now, it's like, I don't mind. I actually find it quite therapeutic. It doesn't take too much time up. Play a little bit of music, listen to something. Like, it's not that hard. Okay, and I think the thing is, wealth makes you lazy, wealth makes you soft. Getting money makes you soft because you have to do less and less. So I like doing those things. It's like if you were a billionaire and you still sparred. Like, I think that's such a healthy thing to do because people get soft. Next up is dress well daily. So the whole trainers and childish clothing where people have got like a Pikachu logo, like a Pikachu character on the whatever. Like, guys, come on, what are you doing? I've seen like Sesame Street sweatshirts, like, no. Shoes with like bright yellow laces and whatnot, no. Like, you're not doing that, okay? It's a non-negotiable. Dress well daily, every day, okay? I was with somebody in the elevator earlier and I said to her, what is it, pajama day? And she went, yeah, it is. She was like, I'm having a really relaxed day and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I don't do pajama days. She was like, why not? And I was like, do I look like a type of man who does pajama days? And she was laughing. She was like, no, you don't actually. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. I was like, I don't even take, as you can see here, I was like, I don't even take my shoes off until I go to bed because somebody might need me. Imagine somebody calls you like, oh, Chris, can you help me quick? Oh yeah, hang on a minute. Let me just change out of my onesie and let me just take these slippers off. I'm just going to get changed. I'm just going to put these clothes on and then I'm going to run down. It's like, fuck, the person's already dead. So I like to stay ready all the time. I like to look good 7 days a week. I don't care when it is. If it was like Sunday, like now, like Sunday, like 9 p.m. or whatnot, and I have to walk down to the shops to go and grab something, I'm not putting on like a hoodie and some sloppy clothes. I'm going to dress really well. You just never know who you're going to meet, and I like presenting myself like that to the world. It makes me feel good. Next up is to be morally sound. And what I mean by that is even if something makes you look bad, you still have to do it. You still have to do it. You have to be honest at all times. Okay? Imagine if I said to you guys, like, guys, sign up to 1M International. Trust me, I've bought you a house. I'm going to buy you more houses around the world. We're renting locations. This is the best thing you could ever join, etc., etc., etc. And in the meantime, I'm cheating on my wife. You'd be like, how can we trust this guy? Be morally sound all the time. Make it part of who you are, part of your character. That is a non-negotiable for me. People who lie, people who cheat, people who steal, they're low-level people. They don't deserve to be alive. Get them out of my way. Get them off the planet. I know a lot of people like that. It's disgusting behavior. If you're willing to cheat on your missus, if you're willing to steal money, you are a very bad individual and you just need to get the fuck out of the way because that's not somebody I want to be around and it's not something you guys should celebrate. If one of your friends is like, I just cheated on the missus last night, fuck, don't tell her. Obviously, don't tell her because that's men code, but get that guy out of your life because he's going to do the same thing to you. If he's willing to cheat on his missus, the woman that he wifed and had kids with, or even his girlfriend that he plans to settle down with, what the hell is he going to do to you? Do you know what I mean? So you can't trust people like that. So be morally sound. Next up, the food you consume equates to the energy and image you put out. So if you're having junk food all the time and you're like, oh yeah, but it tastes good, cinnamon rolls, cookies and whatnot, oh, yeah, but it's delicious. Okay, great, but where's your level of discipline? What are you doing to yourself? Because that image that you put out to the world now is just some buttery fat dude. And the energy that you have is you'll constantly be sleepy, erectile dysfunction, fertility issue. It's just like whatever you consume becomes you. So that is a non-negotiable. Always eat good, always eat clean. Like, I just don't know. Why would you put shit into your body? I don't understand. It has a delayed payoff or payback, depending on what you've put in. And people think they can get away with it. And then years later, they realize like, oh, I've got all these issues and ailments and inflammation. My knees ache. I've got so many injuries. I just pulled my back. And it's like, yeah, because you've just been abusing yourself for years. Of course it's going to happen. Next up is date with purpose. Okay, this is a big one. The amount of women that I've dated over the years, I've still always dated with purpose. I always hoped that something could materialize from it. I was going on a first date thinking, let's just see what happens. But ideally, each woman that I went on a date with would have become something serious. I don't date casually. I don't date for sex. Put it that way. I don't just go on a date with a woman and think she's got a nice ass. Let's see if I can get her home. I'm thinking, let me see if you've got the qualities to raise children. Let me see who you are as a person. I always think as a man, you should date with purpose. You shouldn't date for sex. You shouldn't go out on a Saturday night trying to sleep with as many women as possible. I don't think that's a good viewpoint to have in the world. And if you don't think that she has the potential to go all the way, you shouldn't even be going on that date in the first place. It's just a waste of your time and your money, I think. And you're destroying her as well. I think that's non-negotiable. When people say, oh, women have got high body counts, it's because, they've got to take blame too, but 50% of the blame has to come from men just dating without purpose, because you can lie, sleep with a woman, then be like, well, I'm never going to see her again. That's not fair. Next up, Fortnite and player names on the back of your shirts stops today. Now, strange one, why is there two separate things there? What I mean is the immaturity, guys. Okay, playing games like Fortnite stops. Come on, you're a grown man, that stops. It's got to stop at like 18 years old, if not before. Player names on the back of your shirts. What I mean is if you're like my age, 32 years old, and I've got on the back of my shirt like Phil Foden, Erling Haaland. Come on, these guys are like 10 years younger than me. Why am I walking around with a younger man's name on the back of my shirt who is getting paid more money than me that I am funding? Come on, like why have you got that much of an addiction to a sports team? I find that embarrassing. I actually think I stopped buying Manchester City shirts and told people don't buy them for me. Probably at 18, 19, let me think. The first year we won the league, 18, 19, yeah, that was it. Never wore one again after that. So, like, come on, you can't be doing it too long. Basically, this whole point is grow up. That's a non-negotiable for me. You can't be one of those, like, grown men with, you're like, you've got this receding hairline, you're 42 years old, and you're wearing, like, a 19-year-old up-and-coming player's name on the back of your shirt. It's a bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Next up, your house gets deep cleaned once per week and smells great. Like non-negotiable. Again, when people come into your home, they should be like, wow, this is an adult's home. There's too many, like you get into same for your car. You get into a guy's car and you just go, what the fuck is this? Trash all over the floor, McDonald's boxes, maybe a crunched up energy can, and it's like this laziness. It's laziness. It needs to be cleaned. You've got wrappers and receipts down in the pockets. You got to clean all that out. It's not a good way to live. It's less so, now the house is hygiene, but it's less so hygiene. It's more so like the behavior. It's more so what it is doing to you as a person. It's going, I'll do it later. No, I can't be bothered. It's sloppiness. Like you can't, in my opinion, my personal experience, I can't work properly without having a clean house, clean office, whatever it might be. I don't feel right. If I'm going on a date picking up a woman and my car's dirty, I just don't feel right. I'm like, Same with my appearance and stuff like that. If I haven't done my skincare, my face feels a little bit bumpy. I can feel dead skin on my face. It's a little bit dry. I'm like, no. Like this needs to be done first and foremost before I leave the house. And, you guys should take big appearance in that. A lot of pride in that. When somebody walks into your house, they should be like, it smells clean. It smells of cleaning products. It smells of, and they can be the natural ones and whatnot, but it smells of candles. It looks neat and tidy. That makes a major difference. If a girl stays over, she gets in your bed and it's all, you haven't changed the sheets for 3 weeks. That's disgusting. Like it should be weekly. Those sheets should be changed weekly. Like it should smell like fresh sheets. You should have 1 day per week that you dedicate towards that. Next up, body fat stays under 14% all the time. Non-negotiable. That should be the maximum you get up to, around about 14%. Anything more than that, it just starts to slowly damage your health. You can go up to 16, but I just think for appearance's sake, come on, it's not hard to keep it below 14, is it? Like I don't think it's that difficult. So anything, as a grown man, 14 and below. Next up is say it, do it. If you say you're going to do something, do it. The amount of times I've said I'm going to do that, didn't want to do it the next day and gone, But I said I was going to do it, so I have to do it. That ties into what I said earlier about being morally sound. Next up is the way you speak beyond 21. Once you go beyond 21, you have to speak like a proper human being. You have to speak like a mature adult. No more slang terms. No more saying, "Oh, that's spenny," stuff like that. That's very expensive. Just change. Just change the way you speak, okay? Stop speaking like a child to fit in. Now, is it okay to do it when you're young? Look, we all did it. I used to watch Geordie Shore. I looked like Gaz from Geordie Shore. I even put on the Newcastle accent sometimes. I love doing the old that thing, whatever the thing that they used to do from the show. I remember one day at school, I must have been about 14. They read the names out on the register. Massive Chris Brown fan. And I think I shouted out, instead of saying, "Yes, sir," I went, "Yes, sir," because I thought it was really cool that Chris Brown did it in a song or a movie or whatever. I think it was the original Stomp the Yard. And loads of people looked at me and I was like, they're probably looking at me because I'm really cool. At 32, I'm sat there thinking, oh God, that's the most cringiest moment of my life. But everybody does it. Everybody does it. When you're young, you get influenced by different things. You think they're great. I mean, just look at people's music choices when they're young compared to when they get older. So I'll excuse you for it because I did it as well. Everyone's going to do it. But once you get to a certain age, you're going to have to brush up. You can't do business with people talking in a certain way, using slang terms like fam and whatnot. People in Canada, I'm especially talking to you, the way you speak is just atrocious. It's atrocious. When I was there, it was shocking. It's it's like the Yardy kind of British mix that they've tied in. None of it makes sense. In the UK, people using terms like, B and fam and stuff like that. None of that makes sense. Nobody's going to respect you. Any woman worth her time, any entrepreneur, business owner worth their time, any employer is just going to be like, no, go away. Go away. Please go away. Immediately, their first impression of you is, no, not interested. Even if a guy's in a suit and he's well groomed and then he starts speaking like that, no, get the hell out of him. Doesn't work. There's a certain accent that comes with it as well. There's literally no need. Basic hygiene. I got told the other day by a guy from 1M International. He said there's guys at his work that say that they only shower once a week. I didn't know that was a thing. I had no idea that was a thing. I just thought everyone was showering at least 2 times a day with the gym and then, your normal shower and whatever. Some guys don't have the basic hygiene in place. Like, come on, guys. Like, what are you doing? Basic hygiene is a non-negotiable. You have to smell good, okay? You have to look good. You have to be doing your skincare routine. You have to be trimming your nails, toenails, fingernails, whatever. Trimming nose hair, ear hair. You have to stay on top of it. You can't be getting lazy with that sort of thing. It's just a show of respect to the world around you. Next up is don't complain, be grateful, and be proactive. Massive one for men, non-negotiable. If you're the type of guy who's constantly complaining, moaning about things, and doesn't come up with a solution, he's reactive rather than being proactive. He's never grateful for what he does have. I can't be around you. I cannot be around people like that. I only surround myself with people who, even when they're in the trenches and it's a tough day, they're like, but I still have my son. Or they're like, but I still have an amazing girlfriend in my life. I have an amazing family. Things will get better and I'm going to trust in the process. Like, how can you not love a person like that? How can you not be around somebody like that? And that needs to be you as a man. There's enough problems in the world. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to be masculine leaders. Do not drag people down with your attitude. Do not make other people's lives worse because you just can't be bothered to actually attack something. It solves nothing. Sitting there complaining and being reactive solves nothing. Next up, learn how to protect yourself. I think everyone should know how to fight because then you're less likely to do it. And, it also gives you, as I've told you guys before, life insurance. I need to make a separate video on this, but I watched something recently. It was a clip. They were talking about this pedophile. They were interviewing a pedophile. And they said, what kids did you go after? And he said, vulnerable ones that didn't have 2 parents. He said, did anything ever put you off? When you thought, I'm not going to go over and grab that kid and steal that kid and whatnot? Or try and, manipulate that child and get friendly with them? And the pedophile said, yeah, when the dad was massive. When the dad was jacked. When they had like a big, aggressive looking dad. Guys, it's life insurance for you. It's life insurance for your family. It's life insurance for your wife, your kids, everybody. Okay? Like it's added protection. You hear things like that and you go, it pays to be, in shape. It pays to know how to fight. It's life insurance. It's family protection. It's so many different things, okay? Non-negotiable as a man. Next up, don't be afraid to cut people off, okay? Stop being fake. Non-negotiable for me. Stop keeping people in your life because you're afraid to be alone. If you have to cut off everybody just because you're surrounded by the worst circle possible, then it has to be done. You can't sit there and be fake. You can't be like, oh, I'll just pretend because I don't... What the hell are you doing? That ties into the moral stuff for me as well. You're being morally incorrect to yourself. You know, for me, it's a non-negotiable. As soon as people aren't benefiting your life as soon as they're a negative to your life, you have to get rid of them. You have to be willing to do it. You can't surround yourself with people like that. You can't have hangers on. You can't have people that you know are jealous of you, that you are keeping in your life because you don't want to be lonely. That's embarrassing as a man. Every man should be willing to do the lone wolf route at any given point. It's all you need in this world as a man early on, is to be selfish, be a lone wolf, do it on your own, get to a point where you attract better people into your life, and then surround yourself with them. Build an empire around those people. Build it and they will come. They will come to you, okay? So don't be afraid to cut people off. The last one on my non-negotiables list is stop putting value in shiny and pretty things, okay? So instead of just walking around and be like, oh, she's hot, she's beautiful, she's better than me, oh my God, that guy's more handsome than me, I bet he gets more girls than me and stuff like that. It's such a childish mindset, okay? Or seeing a guy with a Lamborghini and being like, he must have all the answers to life. People doing this online, you know? People see somebody with a Lamborghini and they just go, that guy, I'm going to buy his course because he must know everything about the world. You have to actually think critically for yourself. You know, if you're impressed by like shiny things, pretty things, oh, she's beautiful, he's rich, whoa, I'm impressed. Like, you're just easily manipulated, okay? You can't put value in these things. You have to look at it as like, yeah, fair play, wow, she's got a beautiful face, that's impressive. But like, if you look for the human elements first and that's how you judge people, you will have a much better life. I'm doing a video on this, but I'm actually really put off by women who can't ignore a male's beauty if that's the first thing they're judging. We're seeing Aaron Pierre at the moment, girls going crazy over him. That puts me off a woman immediately because it's like you're that obsessed with the man's outer appearance. You don't know him. Could be soft, could be weak, could be a little crybaby at home, but you're that obsessed. The reason it puts me off is because straight away I think to myself, okay, if looks are that important and you put them up on a pedestal, that's short gratification. It's instant. It's very instant. Where you could go, oh, he's attractive, he could get it. So you're just going to cheat. You know, whereas if it's like, I value people on their integrity, their morals, their ability to act under pressure and stuff like that, that takes months to figure out about somebody. You can't just see that on date one. Do you know what I mean? That takes months, which makes me think that you value people on human qualities, which increases loyalty, increases the chances of people not being able to steal you from me, you know, and vice versa as a man and stuff like that. Like, it's when you value people on their actual qualities and who they are as a person, it says a lot about who you are and what you value. Whereas when you just value, I know people who are really attractive and they hold looks in high regard. So they'll mention a woman. I know guys that will mention a woman and they'll go, beautiful woman, like beautiful face. Or they'll mention a guy and they'll be like, really handsome guy, like gets all the girls and stuff like that. It's like the first thing that they say about people and you go, huh, that's what you value people on? That's what you hold as your like upper metric? You know, if somebody like slightly lets themselves go or they have one flaw, they're like, oh, disgusting. Have you seen what's happened to them? I can't be around people like that. That's vile because it just shows that you value looks above everything. You like shiny things, materialistic things. And as soon as like a richer friend comes along, you're going to just bounce from me and just go and have somebody else. Or as soon as a more handsome, taller guy comes along, you're just going to end things with me and go and sleep with him. I can't trust people like that. It comes down to trust, and that's a non-negotiable for you as men. Don't be like, as a man, you shouldn't, like I bumped into Mark Wahlberg the other day and just went, oh shit, didn't realize it was you. Like, how you doing, mate? I bumped into Thor at the gym, Mark Noble, the footballer who plays for West Ham. I'm not impressed. I've met Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Gigi Hadid, Kanye West. I've been here to this camera away from him. I'm not blown away. I've met Drake twice. I'm not impressed by shiny things. It's just a human being sat in front of me. If you are one of those people that's like, oh my God, I question you. And as a man, as somebody, you know, if you meet somebody who's famous and stuff like that and you're like, oh my God, like I question your motives. I question what you're about. Like, men should never, I understand women because, I don't know, it's just an emotional thing. But as a man, like understand why you'd be impressed seeing a celebrity or like a sports car. She'd just be like, oh, what a mate, like I'm proud of you. Like I'm proud of the individual who's worked hard rather than, oh my God, let me, do you know what I mean? I've never understood that. It just doesn't really blow me away. I find that strange. So I'm more impressed by the man who's like, I've got a baby on the way. I'd be like, mate, I'm like, that's unbelievable. I'm so proud of you. Imagine how many memories you're about to make and stuff like that. It's not, oh, you know, I've just gone and bought a £7 million car. I'd be like, well, mate, well done. That's going to be hilarious. Like, congratulations. You must have worked really hard. It's more about the hard work that he's put in before than the shiny asset. I've never been a hanger-on. I've never been a leech, but I see people that have those qualities. So that's my non-negotiables as men. I think that's things that you just have to conquer. That's things that you have to have in place. I love doing these sort of videos. Hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I will speak to you all soon.